Here he is. Jay. Now, question begs, do I dare jump into the water? There's the reason why I kept them gill potions. And that's right. Here come the goblins! At least on the plus side of things, since we've got the goblin army done and dusted, I'll be able to start finding the bound goblin underground, and I'll be able to get Tinker's Workshop and stuff like that. I've got a lot of gold. Not bad for like, I'm not actually sure how many days it is into the game. But I know I've only been playing for like 8 hours. Golden bunny! I got a golden bunny. I think they're just called the arms dealer coward. Bloody NPCs. Anyway, where's my stone? Where the fuck did I put all my stone? Here it is. Alright. I should actually go and ask the guide about heavy workbenches. Where's that for? Surely you need wood to make a heavy workbench. Can't see for shit. Will I need like lead or something? Because as I said, you need lead for a lot of things. Let's see here. Ah, here we go. 12 wood and 8 bars. I've got 9. Okay, with that done, I will be able to do this. Put you down there. Bloody fly. I'm also more or less waiting for just like full daytime to see if anybody starts spawning. You know, just in case the traveling merchant decides to stop by. Really need to be filling these holes. Anyway, head all the way over here. Dig up these sunflowers because they will need to be moved. Actually, I've got that mining potion. This is going to come in handy. Adam the Angler has arrived. I'll be able to start doing my fishing quests. Jungle surface. So anywhere in the jungle. Yeah, there's plenty of spots where I can go fishing. But I actually won't start doing that right now. Focus on doing this. I'll give it a little while, see if anybody else spawns. Once I've done this, I will go to the corruption. For a minute I thought that was a worm. Oh, now, here's a song, quite interesting. Corn, dead bodies everywhere. I actually have a little bit of a, I'm gonna say fond memory, but when I was really young and I started getting into horror movies, I was visiting my auntie and one of her sons was watching a music video on computer, and I couldn't hear the music at all, but it was like a mishmash compilation of like anime, and it was all horror and stuff, and I was really into it. I wanted to know what it was, and a couple months later I saw somebody else watching it and it actually had the music going, and I recognised it as Korn because when I was even younger, Korn would be playing on radio, and their song "Shoot Some Letters" was how I learned most of my nursery rhymes. But I figured out what the song was, but I didn't have any means to like access it. I could only listen to the song at the time. Dead bodies everywhere, and where was I going with this? Yeah, I spent a long time trying to track down the music video, and I found it when I was like 14, 15, 16, something like that. And ever since then, I've been interested in horror anime, because I'll watch that video over and over and over again, and you can actually find it on YouTube, oddly enough. So if anybody's interested in watching some horror anime stuff, I'll actually put a link to that down in the description below, so you can go check it out as well, if you're interested. Because it was really fucked up. And I don't reckon a kid my age should have been watching that. But yeah, I was just obsessed with horror movies since I was like 7, and I'd never really heard of or seen anime before, so that was kind of like the revelation to me, I'm gonna say. Knowing that the horror medium ain't just like your typical Western stuff. Because what I do not like about Western horror movies is that Western monsters have a lot of rules, which makes them easy to sort of defeat. Like, werewolves, let's say. You want to get rid of a werewolf, either shoot it in the heart with a silver bullet, or jam a pitchfork between its eyes and destroy the brain. To get rid of a vampire, you need to put a stake through its heart, traditionally made out of elderwood, which I think grows in Denmark, or somewhere like that. Or, with weaker vampires, you can expose them to the sunlight, and they'll turn them to ashes, whereas stronger vampires like Dracula, he may not die, but he could get burned, or he'll only lose his powers. But, ooh, that's grown back. That's grown there. But with your Eastern monsters, like say Japanese ghosts, there's absolutely no way you can thoroughly get rid of them. They are powerful, cursed creatures, and they don't obey traditional Western laws. Now that makes them all the more frightening because you don't know when one's going to show up. There's no set time they'll appear. If anybody's watched The Grudge, you'll know what I'm talking about. Or The Ring, or Ringu as it's called. Watched them both when I was really young and it freaked the shit out of me. I was having nightmares for months after watching The Grudge, simply because of how freaky the ghost was. When I started watching like J-horror movies, I realised how different it was from Western movies. It's like in Western movies you got a ghost, it's usually like a poltergeist or a demon in disguise, something, and there's almost always a certain way you can get rid of it. But not in The Grudge. When if you think you can get away, yes, you're friggin' wrong. Because that curse will follow you all the way friggin' home. And that's what I just love about like J-horror movies, and yeah, as I said, that fan-made core music video was what got me into it. So yeah, that's why this song in particular holds a very dear spot in my heart. Gives me that sense of nostalgia that I felt when I first got into J-horror. And I haven't really been watching much. Like I haven't really gotten around to like hunting down interesting looking J-horror that I could watch, anime or movie or otherwise. But I have been looking around and I have got my hands on a few certain things. I got my hands on, if anybody's aware of the Corpse Party series, I have a version of the OVA animation series. Comes in 4 parts, and it's loosely based off of the video game series that was made in like just before the turn of the millennium and then rebooted like 10-20 years later or something. But then I've also got a live action version of it, and it was very, very hard to track down a version that came with English subtitles. And I'm fully aware that there's a sequel to it called Book of Shadows, but I have not yet been able to find a version that's been translated. But apparently this chick on YouTube reckoned she was going to have a crack at translating it herself, and she's going to upload it. So yeah, I'm anticipating that. I also got into Hellsing, like the original Hellsing, based, like, I can't actually remember if it's based off the manga or the reboot series Hellsing Ultimate, which is based off of the manga. I never read the manga, but a friend of mine reckons they've seen it somewhere. But they actually had like Hellsing on DVD, and they lent it to me, and yeah, it's possibly one of the greatest series I've ever watched in my life. There was an amazing spin on the vampire series, especially since the show's like older than I am, and I'm almost 20 years old. The original Hellsing's older than I am, and it makes a great addition to vampires in fiction, the way the character of Alucard plays out. I've been hoping to get my hands on Hellsing Ultimate for quite a while, since I've heard it's a lot more bloody, it's a lot gorier, and it gives a little bit more backstory as to Alucard's origins and Sarah's Victoria, his protege. Yeah, I love it to death. Just the whole series, I love it to death. And it's so satisfying, like in the modern age, because vampire movies are essentially trying to copy Twilight. That's what they're doing. Twilight ruined fucking vampires for me. And what's worse, 50 Shades of Grey was apparently based off of a Twilight fanfiction, which makes things even more horrid. A bit of platinum ore. Yeah, that's just my opinion. I thought of giving the Underworld, or whatever it's called, movie series. I think it's a quadrilogy or a quintology, something like that. But from what I hear, it's essentially Twilight, but it's not so much about the romances, and it's more about the actual war between the vampires and the werewolves. So I've been thinking about giving it a once-over, especially after seeing Mythbusters tackle a myth based off of a scene from a movie in which the female lead, she apparently escapes from a horde of werewolves by shooting through the floor with some of her handguns, and she falls through the floor that way. Apparently it was busted. With two regular semi-automatic handguns, you cannot shoot through a well-reinforced floor, but it's still sort of a cool idea. What the fuck am I doing here? Talking to the Dart Trader. There's a lot of fireflies there. A lot of fireflies. I think it's because it's the new moon, the full moon or something. There must be a full moon out. If only they could come down closer. Firefly Central. I have been quite interested in getting my hands on some kind of anime for a while, just because I need something new and interesting to watch. But the problem is, with most anime, I tend to cringe really easily, and so if a series in particular looks too cringe-worthy, I tend not to watch it just to save myself the embarrassment. I kind of realise I may be missing out on some great series just by ignoring that. Well, just because of that, but yeah, there's some things I just can't help doing because I've got autism. Like, cringing too easily. It can be real cursed at times. I'll especially cringe on movies that I've watched before if I know particular funny parts coming up. So say example, we're watching a movie at school, we're having a movie day, and it's a movie nobody's seen before, but I happen to have watched it just before or just after it's been officially released. And yeah, I haven't know what's going on, and I start cringing at all the best parts, and everybody's just turned around and looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So my sister did have a fascination with Sword Art Online a few years back, and Bandit 1569, my freaking, it's just called Brother in Arms. He actually has the series. So I offered to borrow it off of him so she could watch, but she reckoned she'd grown out of it. But from what I've heard, it actually seems alright. Yeah, Bandit's the sort of bloke who has a lot of anime at his disposal. Because he does have Hellsing, he's got Sword Art Online, he's got Axis Powers Hetalia. That's actually one I heard of through a creepypasta. And yet, apparently they're like massive cult classics. And he's also trying to get Attack on Titan, which at the time when it actually first came out, I wasn't too interested. Because it was actually airing on TV. Like, I don't know if in any other country you have this, but in Australia we have a channel called SBS, which is an acronym for 7 billion stories, referring to like the global population. And every now and then it does movies or TV shows that come from distant countries, especially from like Japan and China and eastern countries like that. But Attack on Titan was actually airing on SBS 2, I think, a few years back, and I wasn't too bothered at first, but then I heard about a year later what it was about, how popular it was, and I thought, sounds alright, might give it a shot, but, well, no shock, I couldn't really find it anywhere, because it stopped airing. One Punch Man is also another one I've heard of, and it's supposedly very funny. I've seen a few clips from it from watching Watch Mojo top 10s, and also from Undertale memes. Spoilers if you haven't really seen it, but there's a scene with... There was one scene where the main character's up against this giant villain. He's like literally hundreds of feet tall, and he's picking him up and he's tossing him around the place. And in Undertale, again spoilers, somebody made a meme about Sans not picking up his sock because he leaves his clothes all over the lantern floor. And it was kind of funny with just fake subtitles they put in over the actual show. That was kind of interesting. I don't seem to be getting any floating islands. I've used up all my wood now. I'm gonna go do some mining. I was gonna say caving, but man, this starts popping up everywhere. There's actually something nice that I like about recent Terraria updates with like 1.3. They made it so that if you kill a slime, it'll drop gel, which is the same colour as it, whereas in old versions, every slime dropped blue slime. So it's just a nice little graphical tweak that they made to the game. Anyway, gotta go really deep down, try and find some gold or silver. At the very least, if I could find silver, I could make myself some legs. Fuck off. Getting back to the subject of J-horror anime, I know it's a little bit contradictory. I said I haven't done much research into series that I might be interested in, but I have actually watched a few like top 10s. And I haven't spoiled too much, and I've seen a few that I've seen a few that seem pretty I have seen a few which look pretty interesting, but I'm not sure whether to go for. At the moment, I don't have that many people watching my YouTube videos, but if you are watching, and if you know a particular J-horror anime, feel free to share it or look into it, and if it looks interesting, I might suss out watching it. Ooh. Spawn a skeleton trap. Wait a minute. That be demonite. I think there's an amethyst down there. Nice. Listening to Slayer. Running Blood is always a classic. There goes that. What I want to do is make a I don't care about use too many recall potions, but what I want to try and do is figure out. I'm so shit with words, especially today. What I want to do is I want to figure out how to make. Can't think of what it's called. A potion that lets you spot monsters in the dark, and I want to go hunting for a nymph. Because yeah, since I'm playing expert mode, she's got a perfect chance of dropping a metal detector, which will help me find some valuable ores. Wormhole recall raft reach. Hunter potion. Ooh. Daybloom, Blinkroot, and Shark Fins. I have that, but I don't really want to use up my Shark Fins. What do I need for gravitation? Feather, Blinkroot, Deathweed, Fire Blossom. Okay. Iron Skin Potion is another one that I could make, just to help me. Yeah, I don't see why I never thought of that before. It's kind of funny how quickly I tend to forget what I'm doing too, because I was just trying to figure out where the hell the sunflowers came from. Gravitation potion, that's great. Cloud in a bottle. Should put fallen stars in here, just for now. I'm actually quite curious as well, because I have smashed 2 demon altars, not demon altars, shadow orbs, and I don't seem to have gotten a meteorite to land yet. Been all the way over there, I haven't quite checked over here. But yeah, it's kind of bugging me. Because meteorite, I'll be able to make some excellent armor with that. And if I get the space gun, then I'll have a good magic weapon. Sticky dynamite would actually be great for exploding up some ebon stone. right now I'm just contemplating, should I attempt to dig a portal to hell? Actually, I need to wait until I can get a mechanic for that. Just figured. See, I keep forgetting what I'm doing and I keep changing my plans. I'm a bloody idiot. Slam the door in my face, asshole. This demolitionist is talking about dynamite. Why am I not surprised? I actually should cut down that wood, because there is a certain way I want to build my NPC base. Actually, I need campfires. These morons are going to keep getting in the way of me axe. Then it's their own fault, innit? And I got plenty of wood. Let's see. 7. Wait, what was the resource I ran out of? Torches? Yep. One more. Is that then? Oh, aren't you nice? Grab that. Okay, so where does it change to forest? That's another corn song, Falling Away From Me. If you've watched South Park, I think you'd know about that one. Because there was an episode, a Halloween episode in fact, in which Corn came to town but everybody was blaming them for these pirate ghosts which had come into town because they were apparently satanic and shit. But at the end, they all started playing this song. And not many people, like, not a lot of fans are actually aware, but in terms of the music videos, Falling Away From Me is actually a sequel to Freak on a Leash. Because at the end of Falling Away From Me, it plays the ending to Freak on a Leash's video. Which at the beginning and the end is actually anime inspired. Because it's got a bunch of kids sneaking into this place. And they play they just play skipping, like that skipping game. I don't know, I never had a childhood. I was never loved, so I spent all my day inside and didn't know how to get along with other kids. But anyway, they were playing the game, the guard comes in, but accidentally trips over and his gun fires, and the bullet flies out through a poster of the album, because the album is called Follow the Leader, and actually goes through the real world, and that's essentially the whole video. but towards the end the bullet manages to make its way back. Yeah. But the ending part plays at the just before falling away from me. I have actually thought of, at one point or another, editing the two videos together, just so that I can have them playing together, sort of, if you know what I mean. I don't even know what I mean at the moment. I've jumped down here, I think I might end the video. I'm not sure yet. And it's kind of weird when, even though your iPod's shuffled, it plays like 2 or 3 songs from the same band in a row, because this is actually, it's sort of a Korn song. It's got the lead singer, Jonathan Davis, in it. But it's actually a song, it's the theme song to Silent Hill Downpour. It's just called Silent Hill, but Jonathan Davis does the lyrics. And fun trivia, the lyrics are actually different in the trailer for the actual game and the actual game itself. The verse after the first chorus has altered lyrics. But the thing is, you cannot actually get the version of the altered lyrics without having the trailer. And the sounds of the trailer kind of interfere with that. But it's a very good song. To keep the pace, I want to figure it out. I got to do it this way. If I don't, everything's lost. Have you ever really noticed the blanket of shame from the torture and pain? Realize that no one's ever been there. Have you noticed the fuck it. I fucked up again. I am not a good singer. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm just not cut out for it. Okay, is that all symmetrical? Okay, I'll block off. Okay, so how many is this? 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's that do? Okay, that'll grow over it eventually. What what I'll do now is I'm gonna try and look for floating islands. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, looks like I'm just gonna have to deal with this. At the very least, I don't have a lot of money to lose if I somehow manage to screw up. Which I know I most likely will. Ooh. No fall damage. I'll leave the chest there. So once I've managed to get some of my shit together, I might actually create new worlds that I'll use to go raiding. See how if these will function. Kabow! Now I have Hakuna Matata. No worries. As much as I hate Disney movies, I thought I should make that reference somewhere. Kill that harpy. Ooh. Oh, wicked. Legendary Star Fury. Wicked. Now, if only it could auto swing. I am so happy right now. This episode has just been one stroke of luck after another. I mean, to get a legendary Star Fury. What are the odds of finding a sword and it drops as a legendary item? Just need to get the hang of controlling the star. Yeah, I think I'm going to end the video here before my luck runs out. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. This is NecroarcanistXIII signing off. Good night, YouTube, and stay classy. Well, I've been recording for the last 2 minutes, so anyway. Later. That's one way to jump into hard mode, is beat the shit out of one of the hardest enemies at the moment with your bare fist.